Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session, we have completed the concept called finding the number of fundamental particles present in an atom, ion or any chemical species. Okay, so if you consider atom, so what is to be remembered? Atoms, if it is in the neutral case, since is not going to carry charge, therefore we say the atomic number. The atomic number itself indicates the number of protons, number of protons and number of electrons. In case of atoms, the atomic number itself gives the number of protons as well as number of electrons. Both are equal. On the other hand, if you think of number of neutrons, how we get number of neutrons? So what is it to be remembered? A minus Z. What is A? Mass number minus atomic number. So it is about atoms. If we consider any ions, okay, ions, so ion is nothing but it may be atom. What we said, ions are nothing but it may be atom or it may be group of atom. Okay, it may be group of atom, so in which number of electrons are different from number of protons. Yes, so number of electrons may be more or number of electrons may be less. If number of electrons are more, then they are called anions. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ electron ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು anion ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. If number of electrons are less, if number of electrons are less than protons, then they are called cations. Okay, so only two variations, that is there will be variation in the number of electrons. Electrons may be more or electrons may be less. Okay, well, now in this session we are going for a one concept, one of the important concept of the chapter called stoichiometry. Okay, stoichiometry. Yes, what is this stoichiometry? The word stoichiometry is derived from Greek words. So stoichiometry is a one word we are using in chemistry. This actual stoichiometry is derived from two Greek words. Okay, a stoichiometry word ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ derive ಆಗಿದೆ? By the combination of two Greek words. Yes, what are those? So stoichio, you know, first Greek word stoichio. What it mean? Which means element. So stoichios meaning element. Okay, metron, metron means measurement, or I can say measure. So here stoichiometry, so what I can say, stoichio is nothing but elements, metron is nothing but measure, or I can say measurement, which means here we can say stoichiometry deals with the, okay, it is about deals with the quantitative aspect. Okay, not qualitative, deals with the quantitative analysis, quantitative analysis of a chemical species. So stoichiometry is, as for the definition, or you can say the word meaning of the word, stoichios means element, metron means measurement, which means combination of these two, measurement of elements, is nothing but it's a quantitative aspect. Stoichiometry deals with the quantitative aspect of the chapter. Well, so here this chapter is useful to describe the physical properties of a matter quantitatively. ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ quantitatively, how much quantity of the substance present are to be prepared as like. So it deals with the, or I can say describes the physical properties of a matter quantitatively by using numerical values, by using numerical values with the suitable units. So to understand the stoichiometry we should be aware about, okay, describing the, okay, describing the physical quantities, or can say physical properties quantitatively. How we are going to describe it? With the help of numerical value and a suitable unit. Okay, to understand stoichiometry it is necessary to know the quantitative aspect of the physical properties of a matter. So before going for physical property, just we recall the classification of a matter. So what we said, so matter, so regarding the classification, so if I consider physical classification includes how many types? Three types, right? Physical classification of a matter includes solids, liquids and gases. So based on physical properties, matter is classified into solids, liquids and gases. Now on the other hand, if you consider the chemical properties of a matter, matter is broadly categorized into mixtures, okay, mixtures and pure substances. So whenever two or more pure substances combined by some ratio, resultant will be a mixture, and it is going to have a variable composition. The components of a mixture can be separated by some physical methods. On the other hand, pure substance means it is made up of only one kind of matter. Pure substances, they made up of only one kind of matter, and the components cannot be separated easily. Well, further, these mixtures are further classified into how many types? Two types: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. What is the basis here? Based on the number of phases. Okay, if the mixture is going to have only one phase, it is called homogeneous. If the mixture has more than one phase, then it is called heterogeneous mixtures. Then on the other hand, if you consider pure substances, these pure substances are classified into two types: elements and compounds. Elements is the basic unit of a matter. The basic unit of a matter, it cannot be decomposed into any simpler form. Okay, it cannot be decomposed into any simple form. So it's the simplest form of a matter is called element. And again, elements are further classified into how many types? Three types: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Okay, compounds, based on the origin, they are classified as inorganic and organic. Okay, as like we studied the classification of a matter, right? Well, now just we consider matter. So what is matter here? Matter is anything that has a mass. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ matter ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Matter is anything that has a mass and occupies some space is called matter, right? So if you consider any kind of matter, yes, all matters are going to have mass and they are going to occupy space. Then coming to the mixtures, what we said, mixtures are nothing but when two or more pure substances combined by some ratio, resultant will be mixtures. And these mixtures are going to have variable composition. There will be change in their composition. Therefore, we say variable composition. Next, the components retain their characteristic properties. In mixtures, what happens? Components retain their characteristic properties, which means in their pure state, whatever the properties they exhibit, yes, those properties are retained even in the mixtures. Okay, well, and these components, as they retain their properties, therefore the components can be separated, may be separated into pure substances by physical methods. Okay, well, and the mixtures of different composition may have widely different physical properties. Means if the composition changes, their properties also changes. Well, now if we consider examples for mixtures, air, milk, gasoline are well-known example of a mixtures. Well, on the other hand, pure substances, what we say, these pure substances, a type of matter going to have a fixed composition and they made up of only one type of matter. And these components of a pure substances cannot be separated by simple physical methods. Okay, well, and the properties of a pure substances do not vary. They have a fixed composition, therefore their properties are also fixed. Then example for pure substances, if I consider diamond is one of the example for a pure substance. Okay, graphite is also kind of pure substance made up of carbon atoms. Then glucose is going to have a fixed composition of, okay, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Then pure substances are further classified into how many types? They are classified into two types: elements and compounds. Okay, these pure substances are classified into two types: elements and compounds. Well, what are elements? The elements are nothing but is an, okay, the elements are simplest form. As I said, these are the simple form or simplest form of a matter. Okay, and they made up of only one type of atoms. Okay, so elements made up of identical atoms with identical properties, even we say. So element consists of only one type of atom and they are going to have fixed properties. And one more important point for elements is these elements cannot be decomposed. Elements cannot be decomposed further into any simple substances. So it is very important characteristics of an element. So if I consider element, first we say they made up of only one type of atom and they cannot be decomposed further into any simpler substances. because it is the simplest form. Example for of an element, whatever the 118 elements, all are examples. Some of them, sodium, hydrogen, copper, oxygen, silver, etc. Okay, well, now coming to the compounds. So when two or more elements, okay, when two or more elements combined in a fixed ratio, therefore what we are saying, these elements contain two or more elements in a definite proportion by mass. So when two or more elements combined in a fixed proportions by mass, the resultant will be compound. Okay, well, here in case of compound, the constituent elements, they do not retain their properties. So earlier also I have explained regarding this. Say the constituent elements, if we consider say H2, okay, is highly flammable. Oxygen is also flammable, highly reactive. The combination of these two, resultant will be a water. Is not much reactive compared to H2 and O2. Means the properties of hydrogen, okay, is not there in water molecule. Properties of oxygen is also not there in water molecule, which means they do not retain their properties in a compound. The constituent elements, hydrogen and oxygen, they do not retain their properties in a water molecule, which means generally what we say, in case of compounds, the constituent elements do not retain, okay, do not retain their individual properties. Okay, well, the next one, if we consider example, say water made up of two hydrogen and one oxygen, carbon dioxide, one carbon, two oxygen, ammonia, one nitrogen, and three hydrogen atoms as like. So when elements combined in a definite proportion by mass, resultant will be compounds. Now coming to the mixtures, what we said, mixtures are classified into two types. What are those? Homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixtures. Well, here homogeneous mixture, yes, they have a same composition throughout. Say they are going to have only one phase. And what about composition? They are going to have same composition throughout. Composition is same. And regarding components, the components of a homogeneous mixtures are indistinguishable. We cannot distinguish the components of a homogeneous mixture. Okay, well, now example include sugar solution. So when sugar is added to water, resultant will be a homogeneous mixture. Gaseous mixtures is also one of the well-known example. On the other hand, if you go for heterogeneous mixture, so here in a diagram you can clearly see the two phases. One is aqueous, another one is organic, or I can say aisle phase. So meaning heterogeneous mixture is nothing but they do not have same composition throughout. Composition is different. Means they are going to have more than one phase. A type of mixture having more than one phase is called heterogeneous mixtures. And what about composition? They do not have same composition throughout the mixture. Then the components are distinguishable. We can easily distinguish the components of a heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, and example includes water and kerosene is well-known example of a heterogeneous mixtures. Well, now coming to the properties of matter and their measurement. So we considered all type of matter, whatever may be the form. Okay, it may be present in compound, that is mixtures or pure substances. Again, it may be in the form of homogeneous, heterogeneous mixtures, or it may be in the form of elements or compounds. So in any of the form, matter exists in any of the form. Yes, you can study their properties. We can study their properties, and even we can measure the properties of the elements quantitatively. Okay, yes, if we consider properties, every substance has unique and characteristic properties. So if we consider a matter, say each and every matter has a unique and characteristic properties. Yes, the measurable properties of a matter are expressed by specific units. If we say any of the property, if it is possible to measure it quantitatively, and such properties are expressed by specific units. So what we are saying, the measurable properties of a matter are expressed by Okay, expressed by specified units. If any of the property can be measured quantitatively, yes, we can express them with a specific unit. Now, if we consider properties of a matter, okay, properties of a matter, then what I can say, they can be classified into two types. The properties of a matter can be classified into how many types? Two types. So what is the basis here? Based on the characteristics. That is based on physical properties, based on their physical nature, and based on the chemical nature. We can characterize the properties as physical properties and chemical properties. Okay. Yes, the first one, the physical properties. First one ಯಾವುದು? Physical property ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Yes, what is the physical properties? The properties the properties which can be measured, okay, the properties which can be measured or observed without changing the identity. So please remember, the properties of a matter which can be measured or observed without changing the identity or the composition of a substance are called physical properties. So what are physical properties? Yes, these are the properties of a matter which can be measured or observed without changing the identity, or I can say composition of the substance, is called physical properties. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡದೇನೆ, ವಿತೌಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು? ವಿತೌಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. Such properties are called physical properties. Example, color can be observed, order can be okay analyzed, melting point can be measured, density can be measured. So what, during this analysis we are not going to change the identity, or I can say composition of the substance. So such properties are considered as a physical properties. Well, now on the other hand, chemical properties. So what are chemical properties? So these are the also properties of a matter, the properties of a matter which can be measured or observed by chemical changes. So they can be analyzed only by making some chemical reactions or against chemical changes. Therefore, they called chemical properties. So examples, basicity, combustibility. To analyze such properties, we have to change its chemical nature. So therefore, we called chemical properties. Okay. Well, now coming to the MCQs. First one, matter is nothing but has mass, occupies some space, both A and B. Okay, no correct definition. Both A and B is correct, since matter is nothing but, yes, it has a mass as well as going to occupy space. Okay, next question. Homogeneous mixture has first option, one or more phase, more than one phase, only one phase, and can be defined. Yes, what is the answer? Only one phase. Homogeneous means only one phase. Heterogeneous means more than one phase. Well, next one. Which of the following is an example for heterogeneous mixture? They are asking example of a heterogeneous mixture. Options include sugar in water, kerosene in water, salt in water. Okay, both A and C. Yes, sugar in water, salt in water. What are these? These are example for homogeneous mixtures. Means A, C and D are wrong. What is the correct? Kerosene in water is an example for heterogeneous mixture. Okay. Well, with I'm going to conclude about this session. Again, in the next session, we discuss the other part of the chapter. Okay. Thank you. Be safe.